coming up on SportsNight.
Lacrosse opens its NCAA tournament run with a bang.
Baseball travels to one of America's most historic ballparks for a series against the Buckeyes.
And softball swings for the fences, nearing the end of its season.
It's been hard to focus on classes this week, man. I'm too obsessed with Dillo Day on Saturday, Natasha Benningfield, Big X the Plug.
Yeah, we've been big stepping here in Evanston to prepare for the arrival of the largest event of the year.
You're talking about the show tonight, right?
Yeah, of course. This show is prime time. No returns. It's Sports Night.
Right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the safe house known as Sports Night, the main stage of Northwestern athletics. I am and will always be Matt Campbell, joined by our Uncle Drew, Charles White.
I don't know that anyone has ever called me Uncle Drew. Here at Northwestern, you don't have to go to a concert, to party, or someone's backyard. You just need two guys and a great sports lineup.
Speaking about greatness, what do you think about Madison Taylor's insane scoring output this weekend?
Let's get into it. It was a historic performance for the lacrosse team on Sunday as Northwestern rolled by Michigan to earn their NCAA quarterfinals. Charles White, oh, that's me, brings you what the team had to say about the win. It's a foggy day here at Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium, but it was all sunshine on Sunday as the third-seeded women's lacrosse team for Northwestern beat conference rival Michigan in the second round of the NCAA tournament 15-7. The score was quite a wide gap by the end of the day, but at halftime, it was only 5-3. Here's what head coach Kelly Amonte-Hiller had to say after the game about the team's perseverance throughout the afternoon.
I just felt like I was really proud of the way that we stayed calm and were able to kind of chip away. And then in that third quarter, we really, stretched it out, which was huge.
And of course, the headline of Sunday afternoon was junior attacking phenom Maddie Taylor. She racked up 10 goals for a career high, also tying the Northwestern single game record. Beyond that beat the previous NCAA tournament record for goals in a single game. This is coming off of a Big Ten championship game where Taylor did not look like herself. She went 2 for 14 shooting, and she was 0 for 6 from free position, where she has often this season been dominant. Here's how she thought she bounced back.
I think we had a lot of time to prep for the next game, and I think I took it and practiced a lot and worked on not even just physically my lacrosse tactics, but also just mentally, like my mental game. And I think that helped me a lot coming into this game, and positive vibes throughout the whole time, throughout the lows and the highs, and just like staying consistent. So I think that's what helped us the most. The best part about it is just like playing with like your best friends, and like it's something that we all wanted to do. We all wanted to be in this moment, and to actually like do it on the field and having all that prep all week and then actually being able to like do it on the field was like a really good feeling.
After Sunday, Madison Taylor had tied the single season record for Northwestern goals in a season, tying the 99 put up by instant legend Izzy Skane back in 2023.
I didn't really know I scored that many goals until I got off the field. Everything that Kelly and Scotty have done for me to like get to me where I am today. I just love this group. I love this team, and I just like love playing this game. So I'm just feeling really grateful, and like it's not just like me, like it's my whole team. Like I feel like I wouldn't be as successful as I am without them.
Coach Hiller was as enthusiastic as anyone about Taylor's dominant performance on Sunday.
I mean, I'm just proud of her, I try to take it one goal at a time. Honestly, I didn't really know how many goals she had. Just happy that we're scoring the next goal, and today it was Maddie.
But she wasn't going to let any ego get in the way of a team-first mentality and a focus on pushing further in the tournament.
But we really have full confidence that can be anyone in any given moment. Everybody has those moments, and usually it leads to better moments. And the reason why is because of her work ethic. She worked all week.
The Cats faced off against Penn this morning in the NCAA quarterfinals. Penn earned that spot by beating number 6 Maryland in an instant thriller 11-10 on Sunday, beating them for the second time this season. With only a few days to prep, here's what the Cats had to say about going into this week.
it's just a true commitment from these players to do everything they need to get ready mentally, physically. It's a sacrifice, but as many said, this is a lot of fun, and this is really what we dream about. When we were little, we all dreamed about being part of these types of moments.
After their performance this weekend, the Cats have a lot to be proud of. I'm Charles White, reporting for NNN Sports. Back to you guys in the studio. And lacrosse has even more to be proud of after this morning. The Cats beat the 12th-ranked Penn Quakers 17-12 to punch their ticket to the semifinals in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Along the way, Madison Taylor blew past the NCAA single-season goals record, setting the new bar to 105 scores. She had 6 goals and 4 assists against the Quakers this morning. The Cats will head out to the Northeast next week.
The Cats on the diamond were popping on a whole nother level in their recent trip to Wrigley. We get into that and more after the break.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to the studio, and we're already prepping for the weekend here, but Matt, it can get a bit much out there, you know?
Honestly, if the lights get too bright or the music gets too loud, I might as well just go down to South Beach and start stargazing.
Well, I think a stars in the ascendant for the Cats. Didn't one of the baseball players get Big Ten Player of the Week?
You know, I think you're right, actually.
After the series loss to Purdue in early May, Wildcat baseball was back at home this past week. With the end of the season rapidly approaching, Northwestern needed to knock these games out of the park. First in line was a series against Ohio State. Baseball welcomed Ohio State for their final home series of the season, with Friday's game taking place at Wrigley Field. What a beautiful place. Bottom of the second, still no score, but not for long. Jacob Hand laces a double into the gap that is going to clear the bases. The grad transfer stays hot and gives the Cats an early 3-0 lead. Still in the second inning, Owen McElpatrick drives one out to left field that hops up against the wall. Preston Knott rounds third and will score, standing as the Cats have blown this one open. Bottom of the seventh, and Ryan Kutrak slams the door. His 2-run single gives the Cats the run rule victory as they earn a big win at the friendly confines. The teams finished the series at Miller Park, and the Buckeyes were ready to go on Saturday. Mason Eckelman launches a 3-run shot to put Ohio State out in front. Score now 6-4 in the top of the sixth. Crawford Wade trying to get out of a jam, but Matthew Graveline has other plans. He hits one just out of the reach of Jack Lausch for a 3-run homer. Ohio State would go on to win Game 2 11-6. Sunday's game was both Senior Day and Mother's Day at Miller Park. Using a pink bat, Bennett Markinson lines one to center that gets past the diving Salminio and goes all the way to the wall. A bases-clearing triple for Markinson gives the Cats the lead. And Northwestern wouldn't look back from there. Jack Lausch golfs one over the fence in center for a 2-run shot, one of 4 Northwestern homers on the day. Cats win in 7 innings by a score of 70-2, taking the series from the Buckeyes.
For one final tune-up at Rocky and Bernice Miller Park, the Cats welcomed the Valparaiso Beacons to town for a Tuesday afternoon matchup before heading out to LA for an important series. Let's get into it. Valpo strikes first in the 4th, but Jackson Freeman says, forget about it. This one, deep to right and gone. 2-run homer for the sophomore to get the lineup going. His 6th on the season, heading into Northwestern's final weekend where he's going to be crucial. But wait, there's more. Jack Lausch sends one way out of here. Watch this, way out. One hopping Welsh Shrine Arena, the dual sport athlete continuing his hot hitting. He's on quite the run since the month of April. Valpo was not out of it despite the score. They'd strike back with 3 in the 7th, but they're no match for OMAC. Boom! Into the construction area it goes, extending the Cats' lead to 5, his 9th dinger on the season, Northwestern's 3rd on the day, and a team record 67th bomb on the year, surpassing the 2021 squad's mark of 65. The Cats would strike for 3 more in the 8th, then Christian Fornes completes the automatic save to give the squad a 12-4 victory in their final home game of the season. Cats faithful heading into the weekend on a positive note. Big wins for the Cats this past week, heading into an all-or-nothing win-or-go-home situation against number 17 UCLA this weekend. But let's rewind to this past Friday. Joining the Cats on the purple line down to Wrigleyville were Tomas Moran, Miguel Munoz, and Ben Wojcicki, who captured the atmosphere of the 3rd annual Cats Classic.
Last Friday, the Cats Classic made its way back to Wrigley Field, providing an opportunity for players and fans alike to feel the magic of one of the country's most iconic stadiums.
Northwestern fans are used to Miller Park, but tonight they've had the treat of Wrigley Field. The iconic Friendly Confines, a historic venue, is where the Northwestern Wildcats have played the Cats Classic against Ohio State. And let me tell you, the atmosphere has been absolutely electric. This is unlike any other venue in baseball, and the fans sure are enjoying it. This is something really special for Northwestern baseball.
Before the series started, Northwestern sat tied with Michigan State in 12th place. And with Sparty having the head-to-head advantage, the Wildcats still needed some magic to help them get into the Big Ten tournament.
But for Northwestern, it's not just this game, not just this series, but the season coming to an end, and each and every game has more of an importance as they look to get into the Big Ten tournament. Only 12 of 18 teams make it there, so they're going to need a few wins to make it.
And under the lights at Wrigley, NU found that magic as they jumped out to an early 7-run lead after just 3 innings. Jacob Hand's double in the 2nd scored 3, and Preston Knott added 2 more in the inning. The Cats put up 11 total hits when all was said and done. However, the story of the night was the starter, Sam Hliboki.
And the Friendly Confines were quite friendly to Northwestern, as off the back of Sam Hliboki, they get the 12-2 victory, run ruling Ohio State in 7 innings. Sam Hliboki went 7 innings, only giving up 2 earned runs on 5 strikeouts and only 4 walks. He had a great game and was really powering Northwestern to this late postseason push. After loading the bases in the 1st, Hliboki punched out 2 Buckeyes to get out of the jam. And from then on, it was smooth sailing for the right-hander, surrendering only 3 hits through a season-high 7 innings and tossing 116 pitches. As we enter crunch time, performances like these will be huge for a Northwestern team hungry to make it to Omaha for the Big Ten tournament. For Tomas Moran and Miguel Munoz, I'm Ben Wojcicki with NNN Sports.
Thanks, guys. And I heard through the grapevine that Ben Greenspan incorporating a little bit of ivy climbing to his practices leading up to last Friday, and it clearly paid off. What a win for the Cats at the Friendly Confines.
Taking to the links now, Northwestern men's golf traveled down south earlier this week to compete in the NCAA Tallahassee Regional. The regional marked the conclusion for the Wildcats this season as the team scored a 4-day 874 to place 10th out of 14 teams, too low on the leaderboard to qualify for the national championship in Carlsbad. Leading the way for Northwestern was a standout performance from Scottish senior Cameron Adam. He ended the tournament 5th on the individual leaderboard, shooting 8 under par across the 4 days. He finished strong with a bogey-free 4 under par in the final round. Adam was 1 stroke away from reaching the championship as an individual golfer. Daniel Svard and Niall Shields-Donegan were the other Cats in the top 50, both shooting 7 over par. The Cats will look to build on the successes of this past season with Svard, Shields-Donegan, and junior Ethan Sang at the forefront.
Drohan and company are headed to Clemson for some postseason softball. We preview that trip when we get back.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, go!
And we're back, but we won't be back for long. Everything seems to be ending, Charles.
I hadn't really thought about it, but we are over halfway through the show.
There's only 4 weeks left of school here at Northwestern.
Yeah, you're right. There's only 2 more weeks of Sports Night.
And there's only like a week or so left of sports.
Well,
Man,
well, at least we still have sports right now. And softball's path forward remains unwritten. A series win over UCLA gave Northwestern an at-large bid to the NCAA Regional Softball Tournament. Our very own Matt Campbell joins us in the side studio with a look to how the Cats stack up against national competition. Matt?
Yo, who's supposed to be in the side studio? What's going on?
What are you still doing here? You're supposed to be in the side studio.
Me? Oh, yeah!
Get to the monitor.
Oh,
live,
my bad. Oh, my God. Okay. We're good. All right. Here we are. Northwestern softball. Oh, I'm out of breath. Northwestern softball, one of 64 Division I programs who were bestowed the privilege of playing mid-May primetime mushball. We've reached the point in the year where there is no next game. No game 2s, no game 3s, no game 7. Do or die. What will the Cats do? Will the Cats die? Let's dive right into it. But hold up. How did we get here? Didn't Northwestern go from ranked to unranked to start the year? Aren't they 4-11 against those teams that are ranked? Isn't their RPI like unfavorable? Yeah. Let me explain. Boom. The Big Ten tournament. This will explain a lot. Walk with me. Northwestern's loss to Purdue had them dead to rights, dead in the water. But what saved them here was the perfect combination of upsets that threw a lineage and a ton of wrenches into RPI rankings. Purdue went on to upset Ohio State, who were ranked 22nd in the nation at the time, to become the first ever 12 seed to reach the Big Ten tournament semifinals, where they fell to 8th ranked Michigan. The Wolverines then went on to win it all, upsetting the top 2 seeds in Oregon and UCLA on their way to securing an auto bid to the dance. Now, logically, Iowa would have taken Northwestern's spot in the bubble if they didn't fall to number 11 seeded Penn State, keeping the Northwestern Wildcats in the conversation. Now doing the committee math, a 12-4 upset is worse for the higher seed than a 12-5 upset, as is a 1 seed or a 2 seed falling to an 8 seed. All in all, Northwestern standing with the powers that be didn't budge all that much after this tournament wrapped up, hence why they find themselves here. Clemson, South Carolina, where they engage in the Battle of the Wildcats tomorrow against Kentucky at 1 p.m. The winner of that one faces the victor between USC Upstate and nationally ranked number 11 Clemson in the regional final. Kentucky arrives to McWhorter Stadium with 29 wins underneath their belt, but much like the Cats, they've struggled against ranked opponents, namely LSU, Arkansas, and South Carolina. USC Upstate enters with a 39-10 overall record, but take that with a grain of salt. This team's RPI ranks them 93rd in the country, and they've faced only one ranked opponent up to this point. And what's not to like about the ACC champion Clemson Tigers? 2 run rule wins over Duke, 1 over South Carolina, 1 over Stanford, and 1 over Georgia Tech have made them the 11th best team in the nation and worthy of bringing postseason softball to Tiger Town. So when looking at these teams offensively, USC Upstate has seemed to dominate the regular season, but again, I would take this with a grain of salt. They enter with the weakest regular season schedule of any team in this regional. Clemson, in my opinion, is the best offensive team out of these 4, headed by a 2-headed monster, Maddie Moore and Marion Collins. Moore, a senior, has been masterful against strong opponents. A 3-for-4 day against Ohio State in February, a copy-paste performance against Indiana on the 1st of the next month, and a 2-homer day and a 1-run win over NC State, driving in 5 runs. Collins, an all-conference freshman team honoree, is 6 of her last 18, 5 of those hits being for extra bases. But keep an eye on these blue bloods down here. I know their stats don't look all that promising, but these 2 weapons, Haley Mitchell and Peyton Plotz, both of these players are batting over 500 in the month of May alone. For the women in purple and white, they'll look to Kaylee Avasado to continue her superwoman ways in the box. The first year lived up to all the hype and more, finding herself on the all-conference first team while just barely missing out on the Freshman of the Year award by literally the slimmest of margins. Izzy Kania has also come on in recent weeks. On the 6th of last month, that 345 average that you see up there was only 301. Since then, she's an even 400, 18 for her last 45 at-bats. Now, moving to the circle, I think the top pitchers in this regional rank as follows. Macy Cintrone of Clemson at number 1, Sierra Manis of USC Upstate at number 2, then Boyd, Sarah Hendages, and rounding it out would be Reese Bassinger at number 5. Let's start with this scary duo, Bassinger and Cintrone of Clemson. This duo out of Tiger Town is nuts. Cintrone had one of the most dominant years of any pitcher in the nation. An 8-2 record includes 2 complete games and 5 innings of 1-run ball in a start against Boston College. Bassinger has been utilized against the nation's best, and she's delivered thus far. 5 1/3 scoreless against Ohio State, an 8-inning complete game shutout, no, I didn't stutter, 8 innings against Villanova to secure an extra innings win. And although accredited with the loss in this performance, 7 innings against the Duke Blue Devils, allowing 2 runs, 1 unearned on 6 hits. For Clemson's opponents tomorrow, it'll most likely be the battery of Manis and Abigail Pippin behind the plate, tasked with shutting down the prolific offense. Manis comes into McWhorter Stadium as one of the best pitchers in the Big South, a 1.97 ERA in 163 1/3 innings, ranking 2nd in the conference. Pippin is the best defensive catcher in this regional, instilling confidence in her pitchers as a brick wall behind the plate that just so happens to have a musket of an arm attached to her right side. On the flip side, Lauren Boyd will most likely have to battle it out with Sarah Hendages to fight another day. Boyd was crucial in Northwestern's regular season closing series against UCLA, pitching 13 total innings to a 1.62 ERA over the weekend to earn herself Division I Softball Pitcher of the Week honors. Hendages started her season going 11 2/3 innings without giving up a single earned run, but she's had some struggles as of late against Texas and Georgia. But I wouldn't rule out a bounce-back performance just yet tomorrow afternoon. One last thing to look out for in tomorrow's midday midday showdown between the two cats right here are the shortstops who've had their fair share of defensive struggles throughout the year. We all know about Donahay's adjustment from short to third, and it hasn't been as seamless as we once predicted, but Kaylee Avasado has had just as rough a time at shortstop, leading the team in errors with 16. However, her foil in this tournament is Cassie Reisner, who leads the entire SEC with 24. One crucial mistake from either one of these two players can spell disaster for their Wildcat pack. So how does Northwestern get through? It's simple, but it's not easy. Number one, well, I guess this is a kind of a two-part thing, but big-time Lauren Boyd will have to show up tomorrow afternoon on the ESPN stage. And we know what she's capable of doing, but who do the Northwestern Wildcats turn to after Lauren Boyd's arm falls off? Is it Riley Grudzelanek getting her shot at redemption against national competition, or will it be Riley Cunningham out of the bullpen? Or is it going to be redshirt first year Signy Dose getting the toughest task of her career? A good start in the NCAA regional. That'll be a question that the Drohans wrestle with tonight and tomorrow morning. Factor number two, clutch hitting. Something that seems encoded in the genes of Avasado and Kansas Robinson, but in my opinion, bats like Izzy Kania, Bridget Donahay, and Kelsey Nader will be even more important for the Northwestern Wildcats. All three providing protection for the former two names in the middle of the order. When Nader and Nito get on base and neither Avasado or Robinson does the job, does Bridget Donahay have the will to drive them in with 2 outs? That may very well decide the contest, or the contest may just ride on what the lineup card looks like come game time. Point number 3, if Kate Drohan reaches into the bag of tricks for his 976th time this season, it better work. We've seen the unexpected this season. Nader and Avasado swapping spots in the order in the Big Ten tournament, and Signy Dose starting at third base against Loyola Chicago, two of the most notable shockers. Does she have an ace up her sleeve just for Kentucky? I'm interested in seeing that. So, do the Cardiac Cats have some magic left in those spikes? It'll be a tough test, but for you bettors in South Carolina, I will say this. If you bet against Evanston Magic this weekend, I'm sorry to say it, but you're a fool. The Cats can never be counted out. Charles?
Thanks, Matt. All eyes will be on the diamond in the coming days. Now, get back to the desk. We got to catch the Cats right now. Here's how you can catch those Cats this weekend.
On Friday, softball returns to the NCAA Regionals for the second straight year.
Later that same day, baseball starts a critical final series against UCLA.
And on Sunday, women's golf will be joining baseball out west for the NCAA Championship Finals in Carlsbad.
When we come back, it's the star of the show. Don't turn that dial.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to the tail end of Sports Night. And Charles, how many Dillo artists are you planning to see this weekend?
Oh, well, you know me, man. Huge partier. I mean, the biggest. Probably like 3 in the daytime, 3 in the nighttime.
Perfect, because we got 3 plays of the week that will have you feel more excited than feeling the rain on your own skin. Let's run it. Plays of the week. Who doesn't love it? Everybody's favorite segment. Play number 3. Let's go back to the friendly confines. How about a walk-off? Ryan Kucherek with his 3rd walk-off of the season. This one to send it to a run rule in the 7th. Cats win 12-2 at Wrigley.
And at number 2, here she is, Maddie Taylor goal from Sunday's NCAA tournament match against Michigan. Her 10th of the game. What a performance of Taylor. Caps won that one 15-6.
Drum roll, please. Your top play of the week. Back to baseball and a moment in history. Lausch deep to right field. This one gets out of here for the team's 67th homer of the year. A new team record. They take on UCLA in sunny Los Angeles for their final series of the regular season.
Well, we made it through another night, Matt. How do you think we did?
I think we gave an audience a show, but you guys can let us know. Be sure to follow us at Instagram at @NNN_sports and on X at NNN Sports.
To everyone watching, he's Matt Campbell. I'm Charles White. You've been watching Sports Night. Have a great evening.